It took all 30, but Detonate took their map pick on Anubis. We swap over to Mirage, the home of the Timbermen. I'd say it's their logging camp here, Paladin. And they're on the T side.
They gotta set that tempo early on. And it's instantly into this market window smoke and double flash into the B site.
Raw fight from Dare, goes 1-for-1 on the slide, up on the boost, Micro can't get anything, Cryptic has come through, the cavalry has arrived, but it's all up to Brett now, he's dodging around, he's notched the first, the bomb drops forward, and now we can play a ring around the rosy with Snap. Did he spot the cross through the smoke? He's up towards the van, he spotted him, he taps him away, and Brett and Detonate, a third pistol round in the series, they have yet to drop one. And that comes down to a hero play from Brett yet again.
I honestly thought that Timbermen would have found a way into that round, especially with dismounting that boost very quickly, but you're exactly right. Brett finding his way to slide into the site and just catch some of these Timbermen players off guard. It made it all too easy in the 1v1. As soon as that smoke fades, he's on the other side of it. He's on Van. And it's relegated again, Timbermen, to just Glocks. They cannot catch a break on these pistols. And maybe if they had won one in the previous map, we'd be sitting in a very different situation this time around. But the score reads 1-0 in both maps and rounds. And they're going to have to find a way to dig deep. But as we said before, this is their comfort pick.
And they are actually slightly better on the T side than the CT side on this map, Timbermen. 52.3 versus 45.1. So this is their stronger side. It should be better. Maybe they don't even need the guns. Nice opening kill from Snap. Against a farm with the MP9. He goes for 1.5, makes it 2. Can't quite get the third, but Cryptic is there for the trade. Snav and Dare, last two standing, both coming from the ramp side. Deagles in hand, looking to pop some heads. There, it's an opportunity, but he's sprayed down by Brett on the A1S. And Snav has been spotted as well. The bomb in the open out towards sight. And Brett has the finishing kill as well. 2 casualties, not ideal for Detonate, but Slight can get the op here. Freshie can get dropped an M4 or an MP9. And they can go for a solid buy, all things considered. What will Freshie have at his disposal? MP9. Interesting. I would have thought the M4 drop would have been a better call.
Yeah, maybe so. Perhaps a bit more of an aggressive CT setup here to get those MP9 set up or prioritize a little bit of utility. Not necessarily sure what the protocol is here for Brett, but regardless, Cryptic goes aggressive in Palace and gets punished for it. He's trying to pull something back of his own. Very odd aggression right there. And into the 5v3, just a quick little pop on the A site. And it's just Brett with the Herculean pass off all 5v3.
He's got some support, very passive from Micro, and Brett's let him pass. He's dropped the bomb. He's got a chance for 2. He can't come up with it, but he does some damage. Droid, however, finishes off Micro. Slight up a creek without a paddle, unless he can turn the op into a makeshift one. It's already a makeshift raft he's sitting on. The bomb not yet down, but Frankie going the long flank, and I think Slide's read this well. He's expecting a flank. And it's going to come down to whether or not... Oh, Frankie... No knife! Knife out for Slight! Not expecting that! Heads up play from Frankie, and Timbermen dismantle what was a very peculiar round for Detonate. And the way in which they played it, even more so.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to have a little bit more of a buddy system there if you're going for that extra main aggression. No pop flash in, it just leaves a very dicey scenario for Detonate to pull things back in the 4v5. And even more so, look at the guns that they have to kind of defend their economy with this time around. A CZ, a scout on Slight, no armor. Very difficult to fight back with. And very curious, we've got 2 CZs out on the table. You don't necessarily see that gun all too often with the 5.7 being as powerful as it is this time around.
Perfectly balanced, Paladin. Come on. Perfectly balanced gun. Just like the MP9 and the P250.
It is in matchmaking when I'm using it, but not when my opponents are.
Exactly. If it gives me the one-shot headshot in the spin, it's perfect. If it's not, oh, like this round is not working out for Detonate. They're just getting plucked apart one by one. Slide's taking scout shots that aren't connecting. CZ up on B. The scout destroyed. Frankie dive bombing in. There's one for Freshie on the CZ, but I don't think he's going to be able to get too much more here. It should be a pretty clean, solid round for Timbermen nonetheless. And they're going to avoid Freshie. They don't want to fight. Neither does Freshie. So I guess a compromise both sides are happy with.
So they plant the bomb, and it looks like they do still want to take this gun away. They just want to have everybody primed and ready to make sure that they can trade him. Because Freshie would love to save everything that he's got on his back pocket right now. He's got a CZ, as well as the AK and a flash and helmet. These are all very, very valuable, especially in regards to just dropping to his teammates. But you can see Adair's posted up on Cats. Now will come up to the apartments. And they'll try to find a way to crunch onto him here and make him lose this rifle heading into round number 5. Yeah, there's no saving today.
No saving allowed for good old Freshie. And for good old Detonate, no investing allowed here. Who's called this timeout? Detonate calling a timeout when they can't buy anything is interesting to me.
Yeah, maybe just trying to... I mean, they understand that Timbermen love an up-tempo T-side, so perhaps instead of realizing that, like, look, we can't slow down the pace of this following round, let's just try to pump the brakes right now before we get into the buy, is kind of how I see it. I'm not necessarily sure if it's going to work out, just because there is a round buffer in between now and the next buy. But perhaps they just want to slow this tempo down more so than anything.
Just a P250 invested a flashbang for Cryptic. Maybe just looking for a bit of damage. Because I don't think saving a gun's even going to be a realistic possibility. Just go for some kills, do what you can. Nade will sail into snipers, nobody there. Micro, I believe got spotted by Frankie. He definitely got spotted there, and Frankie will not over-aggress with the MAC-10. A wise decision. He's got plenty of money in terms of next round, but he doesn't want to go die for nothing. I like the B stack.
Yeah. It's super low risk. I mean, even if they go onto the A site, you're not really losing anything. Opportunity to pick up a rifle, perhaps. And I think Timbermen might be able to suss this out, especially after that contact in the ladder room. As soon as they take con control, this round is over. I mean, even if they do go in B, it's still pretty difficult to turn the tides, but I say that, and Boggs, I think this is going to just be a B split. They might just be going straight into this.
They are. They're running right in. Frankie's got the injury. Needs to do a little more than just one. Slight has a trade. Snap with one more. Droids come through, but Micro picks up Snap and Abs. Still looking for more kills. That's a big kill from Droid. Micro just making it expensive. That's 3 casualties for Timbermen in a round where their opponents invested $500.
Yeah, it'll force rebuys, but as you probably might have noticed, it doesn't necessarily make too big of a dent. All damage is good damage, but regardless, you still see 7k in the back pocket of Shane. And 7k on the back of Dare as well. They've still got a lot of money to chew through. But, on the flip side of things, it does mean the buys back out. Slight's got his AWP. And we've got another bite of the cherry here. A bit faster on this apartments take. They pump the brakes as soon as they get that control. Brett looking for something mid. It's a bit of a makeshift mid setup here. I don't necessarily love it, just because as soon as Cryptic gets off that angle, it leaves Brett compromised. Or sorry, vice versa. But it can get very ugly very fast, and so far mid control has been very firmly in the favor of Timbermen. Here it comes. Oh, he has one.
And he's alive. Oh, Cryptic.
Look at that damage.
So much.
2 HP on Dare, 3 HP on Shane, and Slight wallbang headshot. Now just 5 HP remaining in this round. I think they found the way. Regardless of how shoddy and potentially flimsy that CT setup could have been in mid, that fully blind kill from Brett allows for Cryptic to go huge in terms of damage.
Yeah, that one, I don't think it's a replicable round for Detonate, but
No,
it's
not at all.
certainly not a bad round for Detonate to win. And I think they're going to let Timbermen save here. These are the two players who have money, too. So it doesn't make sense for Timbermen when they're going to have 1,400 loss bonus to throw away an op and an AK in the armor. So they're content to just sit here and wait. Oh, Freshie has the nade. I was going to say, where is Freshie? He's over in Palace. Say, if Brett had a nade, he could just toss that top boxes and take out one.
Yeah, exactly. You'd love to see it. After time, too, potentially.
Oh, yeah. No kills, though.
3 apiece. And they keep 4 alive, Detonate. They want to keep a hold of these guns as long as possible. And with potentially, I believe, 4 players holding the A4, things just get that much more expensive to buy into. Keep in mind the extra cost it takes to invest as a CT with the A4s.
Yeah, they like the A4s on Detonate, and Dare likes this boost. It's not going to get him anything. No early engagements. Extra nade for Micro to throw down deep into kitchen. But he's just going to mess up a stove and nothing else. I hope the homeowner's insurance covers that one. Look at this slow play from Timbermen, though. They're backing off, setting up for util, very spread apart. It's almost a 1-1-1-1-1 until now they finally grouped up 2 in top middle.
Very unorthodox Timberman default. You don't see this too often. And it's just this lurk out from Snav on main. We've seen him try to make these contact plays even on Anubis, but it hasn't been coming up in their favor this time around the Timbermen. So they find a way to recongregate themselves in a connector. I believe that's Droid just sneaking his way into the bottom of connector. Here comes Frankie off of underpass. And so they'll crunch through connector and they'll try to find a way to disassemble whatever Cryptic has here. And now Brett's also here. Maybe it's just this catwalk play.
It's supposed to be a catwalk play at any rate for Timbermen. The bomb falls in the ladder, which forces the op in. There's fire all around. Cryptic's roasting, and he gets a classic 1G on the board. Droid, the last man standing. Crispy little tap right there onto Freshward. And maybe onto Slight too? No, not yet anyway. Slight shouldn't overextend here. And with a flashbang for Micro, they'll peek together. Lead reestablished for Detonate. Again, this is the stronger side for Timbermen, but do not count them out when it comes to a CT side. This team does not die easily. However, keep an eye on the mental state of the Timbermen. If they make one mistake, like say a left click inadvertently to the back, we saw what happened the last time they were on Mirage.
Yeah, this is their home, but sometimes this home can get a little hot and heavy.
Yeah.
It really depends on kind of how much momentum that Detonate can garner, right, before things like that start to become more of a possibility. We haven't gotten to that stage yet, but some of these rounds start falling out of their control, and we can get to that territory really quickly.
Good start from Strife with the op. Droid trades it back, but no gun recovered from the death of Freshie. Why is Shane knife on? Okay. Why are they shuffling deagles around?
Yeah.
A little confused there. Also, the op shouldn't be the solo holder on B against pistols, and it's going to have to do the job. Brett gets demolished. So does Cryptic. It's all up to Slight here. He's tagging. Can he get the bag? And nade goes in. Micro's got one. Bomb ticks away. It's up to Droid now in a 1v2. 1v1. Slight throws the flash. He's up on top of him. He's got the pistol out. Droid spots him. Deagle spam, and it's going to be the Timbermen and Droid to pick up a deco. And that's why you don't have the opposite solo defender of the A-bomb side against pistols.
Yeah, I think that he was taking just a little bit too many fights. If you're going to be playing that solo hold on the A site, you're gonna want to play it for the retake. But perhaps a little bit overzealous Slight to take that many duels.
It was his retakes that failed, though. Both guys getting domed coming up con.
Yeah, it just didn't allow them to get settled, and now they're just running out main, full contact. And I think, Bog, this could just be an easy lock-in of 5 as soon as this bomb goes down.
It should be an easy lock in 5, barring anything strange. Nade doing more damage to the con players. Do they clear out freshie here? No, it's actually Micro, excuse me. And Micro and Cryptic, 2 deagle kills. Surely we don't start the war of attrition now. Surely we don't start the Force by Wars. That's a good clear by Shane. It's the bomb yet to go down. That nade can do damage on the Cryptic. It'll do about half. Tag him and bag him. Name of the game. Snap domed. Freshie returned. Shane doubles, but he's down to 20 HP. Scout shot through the box, perhaps. Slight's trying it. He's almost on the angle. He's taking his shots. How is Shane alive? Droid spots out Cryptic, and now Slight has it all to do. Jumping into snipers. Crossing the jungle, gets the reload off. Blood in the water, and Slight can smell it. Shane still tucked at triple. Does his shadow show? No. Slight. No gun upgrade. Stuck on the scout. One more tag. Still no frag. He's done. He's dusted. Timbermen escape with the round. Shane a hero play. That's going to be a bit of a confidence boost for Detonate.
What a difference that round could have been had Slight hit the wall bang. He was so close on it, and that just probably primes Cryptic into the fight. But Timbermen find a way to navigate through it. Slight gets an AWP. I'm assuming this is a timeout from Detonate. Understanding, yeah, it is a timeout from Detonate, and
Yep.
the implications of this round is again very high. Timbermen are slowly finding a lot of momentum. And we did say, right, that it could get a little dicey in terms of the mental state for Timbermen, but it works both ways. If they have the mental at an all-time high, that's when they get very, very scary, and they can just steamroll through CT sides. These individuals can get very hot very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very emotionally driven team, Timbermen.
Yeah.
And there is an upside to that. There's also a big downside. We've seen the downside, we've seen the upsides. It's just, if they could bottle that emotion and only use the positive side of it, it would be incredible. But that's the thing. If it could be done, it would have been done already by multiple different teams and different sports, not just esports. And right now, Fresh is on the jump spot. He tosses that smoke. He's just getting harassed. It's a retake A setup again from the CT side. And that smoke does not cover off his angles. Droid's just going to force his way into CT. Open that up. The bomb's ticking away. And Detonate have a decision to make. They don't have to go for this.
They understand that they've lost CT control. When you do have these 5v5 retakes, you want to have your CT player alive. And so they're going to try to retake this control. And the flash is just not good enough. Brett gets a little bit blinded off of it, and so they're going to back away now. But I think it's a bit too late at this point. Yeah, you get these kills, but you don't get to keep the guns. And that's the most important thing, because heading into round number 11, you've got nothing but basically just a couple upgraded pistols, and Timbermen potentially marching themselves up to 7. So honestly, even if it's an ugly situation or just saving a 5v4, I would have pulled the trigger and immediately evacuated. But they were hoping to see if they could find something, anything, but I think that was a bit too risky for my liking.
I agree. I would have pulled the plug right then and there. There's no real way back into the round. You've lost your one man who could have helped you. Just save your guns. You have nothing in the bank, and that's what they're on. Woo! Okay. Take 2 on the Eagles for Detonate. Starts off nice. They still have to get a little bit more. There was a time Nice played with some of these players. Brett removed by Snav. Frankie trying to go through. Snav turning on the Jets here. Frankie does a lot of damage onto Cryptic and eventually takes him out in market. Micro's still sitting on the balcony, kind of just hoping he doesn't get cleared. Goes for a fight, takes out one, has an opportunity for more. He's grabbed the AK, they're still pressuring him, but Freshie's arriving through underpass. Dare's expecting it, and he wins that fight. All up to Micro now. And it's no small feat ahead of him. Be a 1-on-2 4K clutch. He's got flashed. They're expecting him up cat. Smoke is down, they double swing. He's done so much. The nade! It's too late! And it does not enough damage. 7 rounds for Timbermen. And I just want to say here, Detonate need to stop playing retake A.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. Maybe try to place 2 in the site itself, try to trade out. At worst, try to get a 3v3 retake if it worst comes to worst, but I don't even think we're getting into that scenario. Glass cannon for Slight now on the AWP. It's just getting uglier and uglier, Boggs. Yeah, no kid as well. And it's just going to be this palace pop. This is just where they get very deadly, where they can make these contact plays and get away with it. They've got a player under balcony, sure, but that's about it. He's got to get at least 1 cryptic if you want to stand a chance in this round.
Oh, there's his 1, and there's his 2. Reds arrive from jungle. The palace pop goes out with a fizzle windward. Snav and Dare able to trade a couple back from the ramp. That's overextension from Detonate there too, because they have the bomb down. In a very defensible position, all eyes on it. They don't need to take the fights. They don't have the money to lose the fight. Slight's glass cannon is sitting on the ground. And now Timbermen have a much more winnable situation where they can work around the map and try to find a place to exploit themselves.
Around the world play from Snav. He's got plenty of time to do so. Dare will throw his own smoke, I believe. I'm going to assume this is for CT. Oh, no, it's just for front of main. Interesting.
That's a smoke?
I didn't necessarily think that was a smoke that could be used, but here we are. Dare's now up into Cat. Position noted. Baits in Snav. Really awkward 2v2. A lot on Brett's shoulders here.
That's a good kill on Dare. Snav so low. It's going to come down to the raw fight. Micro pops up. Knocks him down. Salvaged round. Op recovered for Detonate. Interesting round again, though. Their ace site, both on Anubis and here on Mirage, looking full of holes. Very exploitable.
Yeah, and this is kind of where Timbermen can really be happy with the pick that they have. Sure, the win rates are comparable, but at the end of the day, the reps that have been put in by Timbermen are just that much more. They love this map. They've played so many times on this map. Their playbook is, as you can see, very, very deep in that sense. And they can pull out kind of any pocket strat to just contact in. And at the same token, you can definitely see the weaknesses in Detonate's defense, where they don't have protocols in place if there is aggression on the A site early. They love playing that A retake, which sure can work in like the upper echelons of CS, but here in ECL, where things get very scrappy very quickly, it might not be the most optimal of plays.
Yeah, tech pause called, so we'll wait for this one to get resolved. It shouldn't be too long in the waiting screen here. I'm curious now, too, if Detonate, or rather Timbermen, go for this kind of half buy with the Deagles and the AKs, it wouldn't necessarily be bad considering how well they've done with the pistols. But at the same time, actually,
I honestly like this buy.
I like it.
It's totally fine. You can probably buy a little bit of utility around it and try to set up Snav and Shane. And at worst, you know the rest of these guys can get that Deagle headshot in and open up some of these rounds. They're very crisp with their pre-aims. And that's what it is. Smoke flash for Frankie. P250 at his hip as well. And they'll try to just prime into this B site.
Not quite the big iron on his hip, but P250 more than serviceable. Droid eats a nade, down to 60 HP. I feel like Timbermen are waiting for aggression from Detonate. It's not coming, so they're going to fight. Slight We'll say thank you very much. That's one of the rifles gone. It's going to be shuffled back, but there's no armor behind it now. Frankie's got to deal with Cryptic, who is playing anti-flash, watching Underpass. Has some support up on Cat as well. Slights also peeked down. They're not going to expect Cryptic after that peek from the op. Only 2 players left, Shane and Dare. And do they dare go back into mid? They do? And Brett's waiting for them and greets them with a nice, delicious, deathly hug. And that's a very clean and confident round for Detonate, something they desperately needed moving forward through this map, and something that should settle things down a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely a confidence builder. You can be happy with the economy, at least now that both rounds 14 and 15 will have a clean buy. Push for 8. See if you can salvage this map. Push this T side. But not too much utility to speak of. Timbermen's fast through mid, and they want to take early window control. Are they aware of how quickly Frankie might be up on a window? I don't know if they spotted him, Boggs.
I don't think they know, but they have to be aware that people can be around mid because of the amount of time that's passed and the lack of control. It's got to be a thought in the back of the minds of Detonate, and they're going to take ramp control off of the back of this. They're saying, all right, we've given up mid, so we have to take space somewhere else. I like the call, but Timbermen are ready for it too. And they're going to fall off Detonate. A false positive, I think.
They're not even trying to leave one singular player into the top of the ramp. Instead, they just buckle back in. I'm not necessarily sure if I like that. Because now, there still is free reign, and as you said, it could mean false positives. Luckily, the bomb is rerouting its way. It should be an A split here. Smoke off onto CT potentially. Or, is it just going to be a dry fight? That smoke actually might help the T's there here, Boggs.
Yeah, Slide's having to go up top. Molotov for fire. And Dare and a droid have found a pair. The op is gone, and so is Freshie. Bomb going down. Save has to be called for Detonate. And I don't know if Brett and Micro are going to live to see the end of this round. Brett up in ladder. This is going to be a stairway to heaven. Now, it's an escape at the very least for now. I think Timbermen shouldn't be on the hunt, though. They don't have the money for this.
Yeah, they'll probably
win
hold
them
on
the
to
half
this.
at the very least.
They should be very happy with this haul, I'd like to think. 8 rounds is definitely manageable to just close this map out and send us to Vertigo. But man, I really thought that, I mean, Detonate had the read there, they had players on the site, but I think that smoke just lost them the round outright because it allows that connector split to come through, and they understood that they'd already given up mid control. So the fact that there was a connector prong should have been obvious to them at that point at time, but maybe just the extra little pressure from main caused them to throw that off, and the players on the site couldn't even properly trade with one another. You had to see a very awkward smoke timing push just get caught out with the amount of noise that it made. Yeah.
That firebox smoke, it reveals the position, it kind of reveals the whole setup. And it catches Detonate off. Brett up on Cat, he hits the jump, he only gets 1, but Slight's peeking, so is Cryptic. Slight's the only one with kills, and Shane runs him down as well. 3 for 2 on the mid fight for Timbermen. Freshie and Micro now down a man, but they have some serious map control in the form of Micro. Timbermen really haven't gone B off of the back of mid picks. So Micro's thinking, you know what? Maybe I can find a way up through apps. Maybe I can go catch him from behind. Freshie aggressive as well. If he gets 1, it's not enough. He needs 2. He gets 2, it can work. Shane, low HP, lead charge removed. Second player goes in. It's all Freshie. He knocks them all down. It's 8-7 as we head to the half.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
think tonight I'm gonna make it mine. I stepped out, stepping on next. Lil baddie, cashing big checks. I bought the whole block out, now that's a big flex. Peeping out my Uber window, like what's next? Got new levels and new devils out the wazoo. Ain't no worries, life gets better when you find you. And if you mind you, peace will abide and hide you until it's time to start anew. So live it up, we grown, ain't got no curfew. Who brought the bad vibes? Tell that bitch move. Walking all in my inner, that's a bitch move. Pressed that I arrived, mad that I survived. All your sad attempts to send me to the sky. But I've been in the wind, been had wings, I was always this fly. Oh yes, and that's probably why you're mad. Don't let Evie turn you into a trash bag. So get glad, find out why you sad. All that jealousy, you should subside. I think it's time to turn that mirror on you. Put it up close for a clear view. And look deep down inside. And soon you will find a pretty soul that needs more shine. My world has come to
Timbermen and Detonate going blow for blow, pound for pound here on map 2. Well, it's no surprise after map number 1, a 16-14 win for Detonate on their pick. It's the Timbermen's pick now. And Paladin, can Detonate go 4 for 4 on the pistols?
Maybe not. Snav and Droid chiming in for 2 beauties. 3 across the board. They do get the plant here, Detonate, surprisingly. So into the 2v4, quite a difficult scenario, especially with the kit being up on Droid. But here comes the flash, and here comes the swing.
And there comes the kills. Droid and Frankie hitting the shots. Good flash to support from Shane. But the bomb going down is very important for the Detonate economy. They only get 1 kill, so they presumably won't be buying into this round. But they'll have a strong buy going to 3rd round of the half. Timbermen should be able to get to double digits here, though. Still, I think that's all Droid in that round. Droid does so much work for Timbermen to even make that pistol round pop. Oh, wait, Detonate are forcing. There's no utility behind this.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe a little bit more of a contact play. You've got 2 smokes up, a single flash. This is a risk that you can run. And they'll throw, I'm assuming, a mid-smoke here. No, it'll just be a raw fight for Slight. This is going to be deadly, especially with 3 players stacked up in a window. Wow, you don't see this every day, Boggs. Oh my goodness.
No, this is like something I would expect to see in one of our matchmaking games.
Yeah.
They triple run boost out middle too. This is the weirdest mid play I've ever seen. From both sides.
And they boost to fight underpass. They have an awareness that Frankie's there. They wallbang him once. They see his barrel, I'm thinking.
I think somebody saw him.
Yeah, and there's the conversion. And now this triple setup has to get dismounted. Luckily, there isn't any real map control being taken elsewhere, so they're going to smoke off Cat and they're going to split onto B.
Michael saw at least one.
They're through. It's just Shane left on the side. They've got to scramble.
But there's 2 players coming in market. There's a lot of time, and Shane gets a big opening. He's got 2. They're still holding for these fights. The bomb's got to go down. Freshie and Brett, 2 big ones, but they've taken so long. Freshie has it all to do as he's the only guy with HP. Slight continues the wallbang. He hits it, and he's 4 HP for the last. It's Droid to clutch up again. Droid's clutch weight so far this map has been incredible. So many tough situations Droid has bailed Timbermen out of. But you have to wonder if Detonate had a little more utility out of that round, could have been a lot better.
Oh, that was just on a knife's edge. Slight hits the wallbang through bench. And you really think that the split made sense, but Shane, give some credit to this guy on that B hold. 2 crucial kills and stays alive for so long. Waits for that market door cavalry to arrive, and you gotta sing his praises there. Relegates Detonate down to pistols. Potentially chalks up an 11th on the board. Full blind, gets a Tech 9 kill. And yeah, you're getting kills back and forth, but I still think that Timbermen should be comfortable here for an 11.
You were saying?
Surely, right? Surely.
Surely not. Surely this isn't the way this happens. Although, we saw a crazy pistol round for Timbermen in the last half. Oh no, Frankie's getting aggressive. Frankie's pushing. Frankie, don't do this to my heart, Frankie. He's just going to sit in kitchen in what's essentially a one and done, especially if Micro gets that M4. Frankie's pushing. He spotted the bomb. Micro's around. Ooh, messy duel. Frankie wins it. Droid on the catwalk. Frankie saves the day. Detonate. They can buy up now, though, but they won't have the... will they have the op for Slight? They could buy it with no helmet. Awkward money for Detonate, and for Timbermen, their money's not great either. They've taken a lot of casualties in these rounds.
I'm sure they're all breathing a sigh of relief, trying to navigate that one. Another buy for Detonate. And again, you're right. Extreme lack of utility. Cat jump is made by Shane. Kill for Flight, super important to open things up. Give them a 5v4, allow them to breathe a little in this mid-round. They love to slow things down. They're going to take mid-control. I think Timbermen are flirting with the idea to re-fight for mid-control as soon as this smoke fails. Oh,
They have an idea somebody's there. They're just missing there.
no sound cues, though.
That's a good counter nade. That's going to take some aggro. Well, night, Shane. So much for the distraction. Good counter. Good peek from Dare, but Droid's coming through as well. The smoke fade, the flash over. Droid with a pair. Freshie and Brett coming through. It's all down to Brett now. Frankie up on Cat. Is he expected? Bomb down the middle, known for the CT side.
Oh, the timing.
Brett spotted him. Brett knows. He has to have known.
Frankie thinks he's moving all the way into the apartments already. He thinks he's already gotten the bomb.
Brett thought he went ladder.
I think this is complete miscommunication on both ends of the spectrum. That smoke will definitely indicate things to Frankie. But I think he's too far away to really understand. I mean, even if he did, right?
Yeah.
I think he still just doesn't know where that smoke's being thrown at this point. But regardless, Brett gets the plant on A, and we're into a 1v1. I'd favor Brett here 9 times out of 10 just because of how many angles he's got to clear now.
Frankie does have the kit, though. He does have a smoke and a flash, and if he gets lucky and runs into Brett, he can win it. Brett, he's sitting in CT. Dangerous, precarious behind ticket booth. It's also going to come down to luck of the draw if Frankie wants to gamble on something, too, which he very well might.
Where does he want to smoke? That's the most important thing, I think.
Does he smoke?
Oh, he's going to hard clear. Oh, and he mistimes it. He doesn't fully clear out ticket booth.
I think he pre-fired trash can.
Yeah, that's just a pure coin flip there. And he comes up tails.
That's unlucky.
The ramifications of that round is huge. Now look at Timbermen's money. They've got to give away 9. They're going to force down here as well, so potentially 10.
But if they win it, it puts them on the fast track to victory.
Of course, yeah, of course. It's a very all-in type of round here.
Would they play it any other way?
It is, of course, the Timberman way.
No brakes, only gas. You know, there's a theory, Paladin. Nobody's ever died from speed. It's just what happens when you suddenly stop going that speed.
Exactly.
A little bit of B pressure coming in from Detonate. Flashing, going through. Cryptic's up catwalk. He's got a free one and he spots the player out. Get right. Frankie got 2! You can't allow Frankie to get 2 from that position, Detonate. They do have a flank, a long flank in the form of Brett, but that's also kind of going to their disadvantage. Only 2 players to hold the site. Brett's got a long-range duel. Micro comes up with a big one on Droid. The bomb's still not yet planted. Snav waiting for Brett. Brett spots him. This should be the round. Bomb's got to go down.
Oh.
Down goes Slight. Sandwich. Snav's the meat. He's gobbled up. 9-11. But this is such a very awkward spot economically for Detonate still because they lost 3.
Luckily, this should be a full USP round, so they have just some time to rack up some cash. Maybe another Mac 10 investment would be smart. Cryptic does so. Buys that helmet as well. And here's the point where you want to definitely keep 3 alive. In the previous, I think it's kind of just a cherry on the top at that point. But this one's the all-important one.
I agree. If somebody needs snipers, they're going to get so much damage. Is there a nade possible? Man, the Cryptic doesn't have one. Brett doesn't have one. They're pushing in on Brett. He's got to fight his way out. He only gets one. He's getting some support from Cryptic, but he still has to be wary of the player in Nest. Now he knows there's a player up there. Using that Mac 10, gets both, but he burns that last little tick. Maybe Source 2 will make Molotovs a little more predictable. Frankie and Snav can just save. At least Snav should save the AK. No business fighting anybody at all on the Detonate side. Frankie can go for more, but Snav, no. Somebody just chain him to something far away from Detonate. Make sure he doesn't move.
Luckily, nobody will be coming towards his part of the map, so he should be able to hold on to this rifle. And 3 players left alive. Not the most optimal of situations, but it's definitely one of the better scenarios. Regardless, Detonate get themselves double digits, and they close the gap to 1. Timbermen finally get the buyout. Dare should get his AWP. We haven't seen it activated as much on Mirage, surprisingly. It feels like this is the first round. I could be wrong. Maybe it's the first or second, but I haven't necessarily felt that same kind of threat level that Slights have been able to bring to the table here on Mirage.
He's had a few good rounds on CT, but it wasn't necessarily with the AWP. It was more with the rifle in hand, exactly, where he's had to be big. And that's been the same for Dare, although now he has the opportunity on the CT side. Dare is a very good rifler as well, so there's a lot of times where Timbermen will just have Dare on the rifle, which, considering it allows for a lot more fluid movement, it makes sense given their playstyle. But for Detonate, who do like to have that set AWP, they need Slight to activate. They could also use Freshie to pick up the pace. He's at 9 and 17 right now, Paladin. That's not good enough for Freshie. He's one they want at the top of the board.
He's had a very tough CT side. He's got to try to find a way to turn it around. Here comes the AX, like 3 players on the site. Now Dare up to bat. Droid fighting in the Molotov, and he goes down. But it's Dare again on triple. He's got 2. This is that impact we're looking for.
That's massive impact from Dare's op. He's still on the bench as well. Slight, the timing. Dare's around the corner, and he's picked up Slight. I don't know how he sees him. Smokes are client side, but Dare just dares him to peek. Freshie with nothing. Timbermen hold on to the lead. They're up by 2 and 4 away from map number 3. Detonate. Their money is so bizarre. And they're going to buy. They're going to buy up here. I think they only have 1 timeout left, too. So they have to be very frugal with that 1 singular timeout. 2 AKs, 2 Deagles, Cryptic on the op this time. He's got the mid spawn. Does he get Dare on the cross away? He does! That's massive!
Doesn't even bother dropping it back to Slight. He's going to hold on to it. But now, how do they play off of this? They've gotten a bit of utility off of these A players. And look at this extreme bite from the CTs. 3 players all conjoining themselves onto the A site. And then they realize it's a bit of a pump fake. They move back, they clear mid. And now Shane's in B as well. So no harm, no foul. They've got 2 flashes and a molly. But the reads here from Timbermen, 2 players in. Another player quickly on Cat. Or maybe even an Apps flank. Yeah, they've got to go now here, Bugs.
The Apps flank I favored. Frankie favors the first duel and the second as well. Playing around the logs quite well. Slight peeks into Shane. Cryptic with another one on the op. Does he have the presence of mind to watch his backside? Shane is here and Snav has joined him. The flank. It's all on the flank. It's all on Droid. It's all on Cryptic. He's on site. Shotgun opping. He has to go for the wallbang. He hits it to the Glock. The spray. And Shane has the finish. Timbermen up by 3 now. And the money down in the dumps for Detonate. This one looking more and more secure for Timbermen, although their economy has not been allowed to grow. Detonate might be losing rounds, but they are losing while doing a lot of damage. The problem is they just can't convert them. And without that, they're not going to be able to convert this map.
Yeah, you can definitely see the individual skill is slowly starting to be sapped out from Detonate. These sight hits are just not that much more kind of... It doesn't have enough of a bite to it. They're not necessarily getting those entries that they need to overwhelm some of these players. And you've got to give credit to Timbermen. Their reads have been fantastic. Almost always you have at least 2, maybe even 3 players on the site. Trying to get a bomb plant here is Detonate. I don't necessarily know if they'll be able to get it. Yeah, it's going to be a clean sweep from Timbermen onto 14. And things are going to get very, very difficult here for Detonate to get back into this one here, Boggs.
Almost got that plant down, just narrowly denied by Timbermen. This bye is the last chance for Detonate, truly. If they don't win this round, it's over. It's done. It's dusted. Chalk this one up, we're going to Vertigo. There is still a chance for Detonate to win this one, whether we go to overtime or they can win it in regulation. That would be a very tall task, 6 in a row required there. A double underpass push for Timbermen, though, met by Brett, and he is domed. Good opening kill for Timbermen. Their aggression could also yield the bomb. Dare has spotted a player creeping out towards Tetris, but he's going to back away. Retake A in effect. Slight looking for a pick out middle. Catches Shin on the double scope. That was a bit awkward, but he still comes up with it in the end. Look at Freshie's position advanced through towards jungle as well. Slight waiting for an apps pop, but nobody's there. They're all towards A, one towards mid. Cryptic, messy spray. Can he come up with a second? He does. Great way to control the fucking Bronco. And Dare's forced away after a missed shot. Cryptic caught by Droid, but the bomb now. They know both are towards A, is rotating towards B. Freshie holding the rotations. Micro on his 6, keeping an eye on the CT rotate. And Sly can just knife out all the way to punch in those numbers. But Freshie getting caught. That opens the door for the Timbermen.
Plant for Cat? But Micro still posted up. Yeah, this is an awkward plant. Dare should come up with Droid hand in hand. Okay, actually, Droid is opting in for the long Cat peek, which is fine. Slight's got the angle covered. Here comes the smoke. Here comes the cross. Oh, how are they going to flush these players out? Oh, maybe with a miss like that. Micro on the backside. It's all a matter of timing, Boggs.
Micro made noise. He threw util. They know where he is now. And Dare's got his number. All up to Slight. The time it's gone. Slight's going to go down with the ship. And Droid somehow survives in market. And yet, Inferno, if you're not in T-spawn, you're dead. So. Oh, Counter-Strike.
Looks like we've got the toy bomb on Mirage.
Yeah. Like Anubis, too.
And honestly, look, it's a pretty positive scenario for Timbermen. They kill all of these Detonate players. They get a pretty healthy buy. Like, look, if you had told me these 2 buys without the context of the rounds, I would assume that Timbermen had run the round previous, not Detonate. And so this could actually be a blessing in disguise of sorts for the Timbermen.
I agree. I think it actually puts them in a very favorable position, and there's no utility left for Detonate either. Still a minute 30 on the clock with only 2 flashes of smoke and a molly left. That's far from ideal. It's very poor. They need a little more. They're going to need some gunfights. They don't have the op for Cryptic to bail them out either. The individual rifles of Detonate have kind of gone silent.
Yeah, they don't really have any map control to speak of. They've left Slight up in window, but they don't really have enough for like a side exec of any sort. They can maybe smoke off CT, fight jungle side, or vice versa. But they're going to have to outlast a lot of utility here. That first smoke just being deployed now by Droid.
A exec with 1 smoke, a flash, and a molly. Droid's getting nervous. He's backing away. That's really good timing for him. That smoke's going to telegraph this hit. Dare's waiting for the Palace pop. Droid's been spotted, stuck on site, but he's gonna go down. Dare with one snap on rotation, caught by the rotate holder. Bomb gonna get planted, at least attempted to be planted. Dare's going up on ticket, caught by Cryptic. Shane and Frankie, do they commit? No, they've already waved the flag. They're committing to the save and not to the retake. It's a wise decision because their team is still broke because of the damage dealt by Detonate in those prior rounds. That's a pop on A that I thought they had no business winning, but it comes up with some big kills, a miss, and it opens up the door.
What a call from Cryptic. That is honestly one of the only plays that you could potentially make through with the limited amount of resources that you had. You needed that kill on the back default player, and it works out wonders. I think Frankie might be dead man here. Oh, just finds a way out. And they'll hold on to their guns, but man, awesome call there from Detonate to get themselves a 12th. They hold on for dear life. Another buy in the tank. And potentially a 13th. They do get to save those 2 rifles on the Timberman side. So the defense still has a little bit of oomph to it. But this is definitely Detonate's chance to fight their way back into this one.
Droid's at 28. He's knocking on the door of a 30 bomb. He's put his team on his back right now.
Oh, no.
Cryptic. He's not looking the right direction. Brett swaps to the AK, backs away. He's got the bomb. He's got to survive. Freshie. That's a big kill on the Droid. A big player to eliminate. No! Go! Get the AK back out, Freshie. He does, but he's still going to be pressured. Frankie's running him down. Freshie posting up. Good clean spray. Not taking any damage in those first 2 fights. Nade coming through, does a little bit of chip damage. Freshie's counter does some to Snab. They're going to try and double aggress on him. He's got the lineup. He sprays wild. The jump, it baits out Freshie's aim. It's a good switch and bait from Shane and Snab as Dare rotates in towards B. Fake plant. Brett, just get the bomb down, son. Micro's got your back. So does Slight. The cat rotation coming in now. That's where the final threat is coming from. Never mind, are they going to go apps?
Honestly, I think you could just save these. You should be
Agreed.
very happy with the kind of damage that you've done. You've held up 2 kits. Yeah, I think just tuck in, try to secure map point in the following round. It should allow for Dare to at least have an AWP dropped over to him in the next round.
Yeah, from Frankie.
So, I mean, again, interesting call there from Detonate. They suss out that there's so much main aggression that they immediately book it to be. No shenanigans in mid, no pumping the brakes this time around. Full send it through apartments, and it works out wonders. Freshie stalls for so long, does a lot to get one, but you got to give him credit with the amount of util and time that he just stalled in the back of ramp for that long. And
the fact he gets 2 kills out of that too really sells it.
It pretty much
really
confirms
forces
it,
the
right?
aggression.
Yeah.
He spotted 4 players, or 3, I think. So he did more than enough there. That was a great individual effort from Freshie, and not exactly having the most kills on the board, but that's high impact right there.
Of course.
And that's what matters at the end of the day.
You don't want 15 to be given over in that kind of a fashion. And Freshie does what he needs to do.
Well, to go for a hockey analogy, you could have like 10 empty net goals, but those don't really matter in the end of the day. You have 1, 2, 3 game winners. What matters more to your team? But Cryptic going down early is not the start Detonate need or want. They're going to have to call upon somebody to even up the scoreline, even up the tally. This creep up cat. It's going to come down to the no-scope from Dare. He scopes in. He's too quick with it. Freshie just doing a bit of chip. And Frankie's right here for a trade. Slight trying to shotgun op. Will just back away. It's a collapse. Although Frankie gets caught. This opens a door now for Detonate, especially if Slight can get the next. But no, they're all going to rotate in through CT spawn. The bomb should probably be going the other direction back towards A.
Silent
The droids
drop.
read it well.
Silent drop into window, and I don't think Snab was completely aware that it could have happened. It leaves Droid on an island. He's been the man for Timberman throughout this entire map. 28 kills, but he needs to secure the 30 here.
He's got 29. He sprays for the 30. Brett's dancing around, looking for the next. Jumps up. There's 30 for Droid, and 15 for Timberman. If Detonate want this, we're going 30 plus. Timberman gonna try and shut it down in 29. And the money for Detonate, it's not great. Freshie 2200, Cryptic 36. And Timbermen, they've got more than enough. The op for Dare, the fragging prowess of Droid, a Deagle for Freshie, a Mac-10 for Cryptic. It's not quite apocalyptic, but it ain't great for Detonate.
They want to prioritize the AWP for Slight. There could have been 2 AK drops, but they really want to give the Zoom Banger into his favor. And Dare lets one go into mid control. It has been working in rounds previous. But again, that's all they have. They've got to bound themselves in the connector. They smoke off jungle, and it's into this A site. Droid up to bat yet again.
Cryptic running in, spots Dare, gets the first Droid ready to spray. Holds his nerve, goes for it now. And now up on top, he does take down Micro and Cryptic. That's just massive damage on top of massive damage for Droid, who's at a 2.0 KD on round 29. Slight is so far removed, but it is planted for him. Brett sitting back default. And where is Freshie? He's over towards ramp. Slight has nobody to worry about, but he misses a shot. He gets stuck, and he gets killed. It's Droid again. Freshie with a swing, but he can't come up with it. Frankie's sticking. He's holding. The shots from Slight will not connect. It's going to be a 16-13 win for Timbermen. A consolation drag at the end of it all for Slight, but it's far too little, far too late, and that means we go all the way to Vertigo. And that is kind of, I think, at least what I was expecting personally. But the games have been so close, decided by such fine margins.
I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, if you want to actually have a decision as to who's going to go through the playoffs, I want it to be earned.